Hey everybody, John Michael here for the Hanover Hangover. We have a special guest today, Mr. Glen Eric Longenhagen. Am I saying it correctly?
No, it's okay.
Now, how do I say it?
It's Longenhagen.
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 Jesus,
Just
Longenhagen. I'm so sorry.
Like Haagen-Dazs.
I am the worst podcast host for names.
You're
It's just,
fine.
it's a fact.
Yeah,
Look at all my podcasts. I never get anybody's name right. Unless your name's Smith or Jones, I'm
Okay.
all messed up.
Well, you can call me Smith today. I'm fine with that.
So if you don't know Glen is an amazing musician. He currently plays with Common Bond. He is the guitarist, the keyboardist, the singer, and just an amazing artist. And we're so lucky to have him here on the Hanover Hangover. Glen, welcome to the studio.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me here. Appreciate that.
And we are joined with Mr. Sean Semmel.
Yes.
And Miss Ann. Hello. And unfortunately, my camera's not working, which is a good thing because I didn't do my hair today.
I like your rap. Your rap looks good.
Yeah, my do-rap. So Glen's going to share with us some of his stories, some of his history that he has with playing, and some of his favorite opening riffs.
Oh.
Right?
I can do a few opening riffs, and I'll play a couple of my songs that I did for my pet Dudley, my dog Dudley, who's in Rainbow Bridge Heaven, or however you want to, whatever terminology you want to use for your long deceased pet. I've been playing in a band, like literally in a band, since just before 7th grade. I was in a band we were called Equius. Well, the first band I was in, we were called the Omegas. We played at a birthday party. It was a friend of ours from school. It was, I believe it was her 13th birthday party, and I was a drummer then, because I'm also a drummer. So I was playing the drums for this band called the Omegas. We knew 4 songs, so that was fine, and 2 of them were originals. So that was a very interesting evening. But and I branched out to guitar. Probably it was around. I think I started playing. I was 6th grade or so. It was around 6th grade.
Wow.
You just played. My older brother played, and my younger brother plays as well. I come from a fairly musical family. My father was a musician. He played with orchestras and bands, and he used to play ukulele at the Penn State frat house for money and just for entertaining people. He was a ukulele player. He did saxophone. He played piano. He was at the let me think about this, Central Catholic High School band. So we I guess we can say we inherited, because I don't read music. I play everything by ear, and a lot of people do. A lot of people play everything by ear. Kind of inherited his talent, which I appreciate that. Thanks, Dad. And just from my teenage years through early college days, and then after I got married, I kind of took a break from it for a while when my kids were younger, and I got back into it with Common Bond. We've been together for 17 years.
Well, that's a
good stretch.
Yeah, 17 years. It was basically, I had left the band with the bass player. His name was Al. And one day he saw me at an event, and he just said, "Hey, I'm putting a little band together. You just want to come over and jam?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm like, because I've been out of it for like almost 10 years, 11 years, close to that. And he said, "Just come over and just bring your guitar, we'll just have a good time. It's no pressure, no." I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll do that." So I went over and we played a little bit, and I practiced with him another time, and that's when they said, we're thinking of maybe doing this seriously and playing out. Would you be interested? I'm like, yeah. So I had to talk with the family and everything, and we worked things out. And that's when Common Bond was formed. And within 3 months after that, we had our first gig.
Oh, that's great, man.
Quite a story.
Yeah.
And you guys have been rocking the valley ever since.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we have been. It's been a lot of fun too, and there's a lot of great places, and we have a lot of people to thank for that. Not just the places that hire us to play, but the people that come see us. Like last night,
Last night was awesome. Well, last night we were at the Steel Pub.
It was at the Steel Pub, yeah.
And we packed. You guys packed the house, is what you did.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great night. And I want to thank everybody for being there. Thank you. And so we're going to be there again in December for our, I guess you could term it the Christmas party. It's going to be our Christmas party anyway, and that'll probably be our last gig of this year.
Yeah, you guys need time to, for yourselves and to take care of your family stuff.
And between that and then my trio, Third Hand, I'm in the trio too. Which
Third Hand Acoustics.
Third Hand Acoustics, yeah. And we're thinking of changing the name to just Third Hand Trio, but we'll see. So right now it's just Third Hand. We had to throw the acoustic in there because apparently there's a lot of other third hands.
Really?
Yeah, and throughout the nation, I guess. But we put the acoustic term at the end of it just so we could get the Facebook page. And we've come a long way with that too. That was all started when two members of another band, which you're familiar with, the Smith Compound Band, Wendy Mikesell and Ernie Corbelli, the bass player, Wendy on vocals. They approached me after a Common Bond show, the March of 20. It was like before everything shut down, like early March of 20, before the pandemic hit. And they just said, we're thinking of forming a trio. Would you be interested? And I said no. I said I'm not interested. I said, I got too much on my plate with, taking care of things at home, my dog, work, everything else. I don't think I could handle two bands. Well, a lot of bands were actually splitting off and forming trios because less and less gigs were being offered because of people, it was just starting with the shutdowns.
Right.
And so I said, well, okay, well, why don't you just come over to my house and, let's see what we can put together. We maybe be able to do 7 or 8 songs, just off the cuff. I mean, Ernie's been playing in bands since, the early 70s. He was with Gandalf and other popular bands back when I was a kid.
It's a familiar name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's great bass player, sings well. And that's one thing. And Wendy is a wonderful voice. Wendy's been performing for a long time as well. And they are both in the, like I said, the Smith Compound Band. And then with my band, I'm very fortunate too because I'm playing with great musicians. Warren Parks on lead guitar and vocals, and no one rips like Warren. Marcus Iorio on drum. He's been in several bands prior to joining with us. Fran Kazmarek, he's probably one of the best players, bass players in the Valley. He's just fantastic. Plays a fretless 5-string. So I'm real fortunate because when you're playing with other musicians that are as good as they are, you try to at least be your best all the time. It's just, I guess it just we feed off one another. So if somebody's doing a great job, we try to keep up with that person. So, and the same with the trio, it's a lot different because it's a lot less involved. There's no drums. We have a drum machine, and there's no keyboards involved, and we basically do our own sound. Whereas when we play out, we have a sound man. Sean Anderson does sound for a lot of bands here in the Valley. We had Marty filling in for him last night because Sean's so busy, and so is Marty, because they're in demand because they do a great job. So, but with the trio, it's less work. It's the vibe is still there, but it's not the power vibe. It's more of like a fun vibe. But when the band is playing, it's just like, it's, in your face, especially if we're doing like hard rockin' songs like, the Ozzy that we did last night or Highway Star, or we're one of the few bands that I think does anything by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So when a four-piece band tries to pull that off, it's a lot of fun, but we got a lot of respect for that one. And then here I am. So you guys invited me. I appreciate it. And
yeah, we're glad you're here.
Yeah,
we really are.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Well, this is a job, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
even though it's a fun job,
Yeah.
people are like, you're just up there playing with your band. No, this is a job.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
is. It's
we
work.
take it seriously. I know, you know.
It's work. It's practice. It's learning new songs. And it's nice because today we have YouTube.
Mhm.
So I mean, when we were kids, we would drop the record on the
Cassette
needle,
tape.
we'd pick it up, or the cassette, or the 8-track. We would, and then learn. Okay, now what was he doing there? Oh, damn! Put it back on again and listen and try to play along with it. Now you can,
You can slow it down and
slow
everything.
it down,
We
you
got-
can
we got
change the
great
key.
Technology today.
We can change the key of the music without changing the tempo of the music. It's
Yeah.
just, the software that they have today is amazing. So, but that's a big help.
So, what are you playing today? What is this?
I brought this. This is my double neck acoustic. This is kind of a signature thing. I also have I actually have 3 double neck electrics at home.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, I have an Epiphone. It's like a EDS 1275 copy, which is like the white Alex Lifeson, Jimmy Page style, double neck SG. I have my Music Man, which I was using last night, my Music Man Silhouette. And I have a Dean Hardtail, which is at my house right now.
Well, that shows you how much I know about guitars. 'Cause I
Oh.
didn't realize you had different ones.
Yeah.
I thought you only had one.
Yeah. No. So the difference, people always say, well, what's the difference here? Why do you have 2 necks here? Well, it's when we were playing, when I was with Retrospects, which is the band that I was with prior, with my older brother, when we split up, we were going to just do, like an acoustic act. And I had my electric double neck because it made it easier for me to play leads on the 6-string and then go back to playing, like stuff from the Byrds or whatever on the 12-string. And it's the same thing. But people say, well, what's the difference between the two? I say, well, the 6-string, it sounds nice. What's the difference between this and this? Because you're getting like an octave in the first 4 strings here, you're getting an octave of the note, and then the last 2 are the same. But that's basically, I tell this story when I'm playing with Third Hand about how Roger McGuinn went to see Help, and he was wondering how George Harrison was getting this sound out of his guitar, and then he realized it wasn't a 6-string, it was a 12-string. And then he went out and bought one, I guess, that week or whatever at a pawn shop. And then guess they formed the Byrds, and they came up with all that cool, jangly, And that's where he came up with that. So,
Do you take requests?
if I know it, I take it.
Can I throw one at you?
Sure.
Now listen, it can only be an opener.
Yeah.
It can't be a whole song.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Triumph, Midsummer's Daydream.
How does that go?
Oh my God!
Is that like magic? I used to do.
It's just him on 12-string. It's not. The
no.
band doesn't play with it.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I don't.
That's okay.
I apologize to all the Triumph fans.
No. I had to try.
So-
I had to try.
So growing up, Glenn, what was your favorite intro? Which song got you to say, hey, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Honestly, the two big songs that motivated me to play guitar, and put the drumsticks down for a little bit at least, were "Reelin' in the Ears" by Steely Dan.
Nice.
And then when my brother brought home, it's called the Yes album. It was the first album that Steve Howe, the guitar player, joined Yes, and there was a song called Starship Trooper, and just the sound he got out of that song, just a very cool opening riff. I could try to fake my way through it now if that's okay with you.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me see if I can.
What if it
remember how to play it.
inspired you?
Oh, it did. It
Yeah.
was that. Yeah. It's this riff here. This. That opening. That sounds really cool.
It does sound cool.
Now, when he plays that in the studio, he's actually playing his Gibson, but when he plays it on the Yes Songs live album,
Right.
he's using his double neck 12 string, and that's what got me to want to play it on the 12 string.
Right.
So.
I just want all the ladies out there to pay attention to Glen's finger picking skills.
Oh man.
Yeah, I know how important that is, and
Like for washing dishes and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm very good at that.
for taco night.
Yeah.
But you know
Taco
what? He's
Tuesday.
also a drummer, so he has got good rhythm.
So he's got rhythm. He's got
oh,
good
boy.
finger action.
Well, there you go.
And,
that's a package deal.
That's
right
a
there.
serious package.
Yes.
I'm glad we have George Doug out there manning the door to keep the women out because. Yes, the Hanover Hangover does have security outside the studio for a reason.
Oh. That's wild, you guys. I'll tell you.
Well,
Aren't you glad you came?
you should be glad.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I'm glad now.
Yeah. And just for all the ladies out there, Glen is not attached.
Oh.
He
Oh boy.
I'm not, but
he's not attached.
I'm not attached, but I'm happy being not attached right now
yeah.
after 30 years of marriage. But I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's good.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
I this is my attachment right here.
There you
just
go.
for now, anyway. What I was attached to, I during the pandemic, like a lot of people were just trying to figure out ways to either amuse themselves or maybe be creative at home, and a lot of people were like either like finishing up furniture, painting furniture, or fixing up their house, or painting in general or whatever. I spent a lot of time with my dog, which I did anyway, and I wrote a few songs for him, just for fun. One of them, there was a day where I was just watching him. I don't know if you have dogs or not.
She has two. Okay. I had two, which I just had to put down to him in the last 4 weeks. They were they were 2 weeks apart. The lymphoma got to him.
Okay,
and they were both had it. But when the one went, they were inseparable, and when the one went, the other's cancer just excelled, and it just overtook her body.
Oh,
so I know I can relate, and as an animal lover, I would love to hear your dog songs.
All right. Well, you've ever seen your dog run in its sleep, in his or her
yes,
sleep?
Yes.
They're just laying there, and all of a sudden their feet just start paddling away, like they're chasing a rabbit or something. Well, that inspired this. Let me see if I can do it with Let me see if I can do it without my pick, because when I first wrote it, I had longer fingernails. But I'll do my best on this one. I called it Dudley in 3 because it's roughly a 3-minute song. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'll just do a couple riffs from it. So, oops, I did that on purpose.
Yes, that's
part of the show.
Just showing the integrity of that instrument.
That's the abridged version of it.
That's nice.
I
I like
love
it.
Paul
That was
Dudley,
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you ever want to take that to the recording studio, I'd be more than happy to lay some drums to that.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
cool.
Hey,
I was
we have
thinking
a
of
set
putting
of
some-
drums up in the other half of the studio. I know they're not your own. Now, for everybody who doesn't realize this, but Mr. Sean Semmel is the drummer for the band Kind of Sort of Maybe, which they
Yeah.
just had a great show yesterday out there at Spectators Bar and Grill,
It was nice.
Route 22, Kunkletown, PA.
It was a good show.
It was a nice show.
Awesome.
It was. And that's where I was prior to coming to see your show.
okay.
Yeah, so
So he was beat by the time he got to you. I mean,
yeah, I had a
You
few
must
in
have
me.
yeah,
Oh,
I did.
a few.
Yeah. Well, your wife, your
Yeah,
wife
I
says, "Hey,
know
John
she-
Michael, you can't just sit there and drink
She's
coffee."
She's a terrible, terrible person for that. Isn't
No,
she?
she's great. I love her. She's awesome.
She hates when you don't have a drink in your hand. You know.
Well, let's carry around an empty coffee cup or something.
Yeah.
Now, Glenn,
yes, sir.
you also play keys.
Yeah, badly.
No.
No.
I have
No, I heard
video.
that's pretty good.
I'm going to add some video
It's
into
my
this show.
weakest instrument.
Now, what got my attention when I
Thank
first
you.
seen Common Bond is like number one, Warren. He's just a fanatic. He can't be happier to be anywhere else
Yeah.
but right where he's at.
Yeah.
And then I looked over at you, and I'm like, all right, he's on the keys, and then I'm blah blah blah, blah and he's on a guitar, and he's singing. Now wait a minute, hold on,
Wow.
hold
Thank you.
on.
It saves on money.
And yeah, it saves on money, more money. Yeah.
It's a
so
four-
you
four
get three
piece instead of a
do you
five
get,
piece.
Do you get 3 shares then?
No.
Oh, okay.
We all do our part. I like to do too because it keeps me young upstairs in the
Right,
brain.
right.
Yeah.
And
Keeps me sharp and focused.
I'm just amazed that like I can't even put my 2 feet in front of each other, and then
No.
you're doing 3 instruments.
Well, you know
and
what?
singing.
You know what actually got me into doing? I shouldn't say got me into doing it. That was done. You know, everyone knows who Kansas is, right?
Right, right.
Sure.
Well, Kerry Livgren was, and Geddy Lee, obviously from Rush, would always play bass and keyboards and sing. Well, Kerry Livgren, from Kansas, he would play the keyboards and the guitar at the same time, and you could watch some old Kansas videos from the early 70s, 73, 74. He was wailing away. So he was kind of almost like the pioneer of that, because I never saw that. In those years I was still in grade school, but I was exposed, since I had an older brother, I was exposed to a lot of progressive rock, which is what my roots are. I was Yes, Genesis, ELP, Kansas, and then Rush later on, and that's why I have that picking style, like what I just played. That's kind of very Genesis-y. It's kind of like very Mike Rutherford and Steve Hackett, because that's especially when it comes to acoustic 12-string. That's who I like to, if not model, at least try to emulate a little bit. So I wrote a couple other songs, but I have them on my other guitar.
Okay, well we can if you want
We can
to
take
if you want to take a short break
Yeah.
and switch over.
I'll switch
All right, you're
over.
listening to the Hanover Hangover here on your local pod station. We'll be right back. Thank you.